Clean air in our offices, in our homes, in our backyards. We may take our air for granted until its quality is jeopardized. In recent years, indoor air quality has moved to the forefront of important workplace issues. Experts have determined that much of the discomfort experienced by building occupants is caused by exposure to materials such as formaldehyde in insulation, synthetic fibers in office carpet, inks and toners used in copy machines, and industrial-strength cleaning supplies. Even though these substances have been identified as primary sources of irritation to workers, for the most part, the attention has focused on one substance, environmental tobacco smoke. Nearly all major companies have some type of policy on workplace smoking. According to the International Facilities Managers Association, approximately 56% of all U.S. offices are smoke-free, and 96% of offices plan to be by the year 2002. But the fact remains, nearly 25% of Americans smoke, and many managers feel they should be accommodated.
I have always had the philosophy, the management philosophy, if you will, that management needs to do everything possible to keep as many of the employees happy with working conditions as possible. And if 25% of the people or more smoke, and if you tell them they can't smoke on the job, then you're going to have at least 25% of the people who are dissatisfied. You want to keep both groups happy, and so you need the flexibility to try to work out the situation so that you'll keep your workers happy and satisfied, and they'll do better work.
Many business owners, managers, and employees share the view that flexibility and compromise on all workplace issues are critical for better job satisfaction. But soon, management may not have any choice on the matter of workplace smoking. The Federal Occupational Safety and Health Administration, OSHA, has proposed highly restrictive regulations on smoking in each and every type of work environment: offices, factories, restaurants, and even homes. If implemented, OSHA's proposals could result in a de facto smoking ban, and many business leaders object to government intervention on the smoking issue.
I think that the free enterprise system in this country has enabled businesses to handle any situation that might come up in their business. And dealing with the smoking situation, that's just one of many areas that they have to deal with on a daily basis. So why is it not reasonable to believe that business can take care of their own employees and management and work together in a compromise?
Smokers and non-smokers can coexist and get along and work out their needs in a very open way if government stays out of it. If we don't have the intrusion of government saying you cannot smoke or you'll limit it to 2% of the space. I think corporate policy on smoking should recognize that a substantial number of people smoke and that they have a right to, and that non-smokers should be able to be reasonably free from an unreasonable amount of smoke.
There are many options for accommodating both smokers and non-smokers in the workplace. The best answer for each company depends on variables such as physical layout of the space and number of employees. Choices include designated smoking areas, enclosed rooms with separate exhaust systems, air purification systems, and high-tech filters. The cost can range from nothing to hundreds of dollars to thousands of dollars. The one fact is that for every workplace, there is a way to accommodate both smokers and non-smokers. The least expensive alternative is mutual accommodation. That means smokers showing consideration for others when and where they smoke, and non-smokers simply respecting the fact that some people do like to smoke. Another inexpensive alternative is a separate smoking area, such as a private office or a designated lounge. It can be a simple proposition or more elaborate. For example, managers of the Texas Commerce Bank building near Fort Worth, Texas, used a company called Take 10 Environmental Break Rooms to set up a dedicated smoking lounge. The ventilation system in the lounge is designed to ensure the high quality of the air throughout the entire 9-story complex. The ventilation system works like this. Fresh air from the outside and other parts of the building can enter the smoking lounge, but air from the smoking lounge cannot escape to other offices in the building. The room has a separate exhaust system, which keeps all of the air in the room separate from the air in other parts of the building. Jim Poynter of Environmental Break Rooms Incorporated is responsible for the room's design and implementation.
What makes the environmental break rooms lounge unique is the SAFE system. The SAFE system, which is an acronym for System for Air Filtration and Exhaust, takes the smoke and brings it through a series of filters that clean that lounge air. That air is then exhausted directly out of the building. And that's what's different about the environmental break rooms concept, is that the air inside the building and the air inside the lounge are never intermingled after the smokers have smoked.
Building manager Ann Smith is pleased with the setup, and so are her tenants.
The feedback we've gotten from the tenants, both smokers and non-smokers, has been very positive. Most of the people who don't smoke have made comment to me one way or the other to say thank you, or we really appreciate it, or gee, it's much nicer. And the smokers have said thanks for the nice place to go.
Smokers and non-smokers in the Texas Commerce Bank building agree that the Take 10 break room is a fair alternative to a smoking ban.
I certainly realize the right of smokers to smoke, and certainly my right not to smoke. So I feel as though there needs to be a good solution so that we can both be happy and both of our rights can be protected. And so I think that a separate self-contained lounge is really the way to go, because it makes everyone happy and takes care of everybody's needs.
The feedback on the room has been so positive that other building managers are listening to building manager Ann Smith.
Building Owners and Managers Association is an international organization of building owners and managers. We have a lot of different things that we're concerned with, one of them being indoor air quality. And in terms of what we do in our meetings, we discuss these various issues. And with indoor air quality, which building owners and managers thinks will be the big issue of the 90s, what do you do about cigarette smoking in the workplace? And with Smoking Lounge, I think we found the answer to that.
While the environmental break room is one way to accommodate smokers and non-smokers, there are other options that have received attention, like air purification.
If smoking is allowed in an individual office, which is of the reasonable size of, say, 10 foot by 15 foot, a small portable self-contained room purifier is normally all that's necessary. And this unit is portable, it plugs into 110 volts, and it circulates the air within that office and does a good job of two things. Number one, removing particulates, and number two, removing the gases which are associated with the odors caused by tobacco smoking. In a larger room, say a conference room or a smoking lounge, the next best alternative is a self-contained room purifier that would mount in the ceiling, or in some cases on the ceiling. They're very unobtrusive, very nice looking, and they pull in the air from the room, they filter it, and then they exhaust it back into the room as clean and purified air.
Dick Allegretti is sales director for Honeywell Environmental Air Control Commercial Air Products.
When an air filtration system is installed in a smoking area, it has the ability to remove close to 90% of all of the tobacco smoke and gases which are present in the atmosphere, thus providing a fairly clean environment from the standpoint of air. In addition, it not only cleans tobacco smoke, but it cleans everything else out of the air. And typically you get an atmosphere that is cleaner than if there was nothing present at all and tobacco smoking was not occurring. You actually have a cleaner environment.
This particular type of system has been in use in a variety of workplaces around the country.
There are a number of major corporations who have utilized the Honeywell EnviroCare standalone air filtration system. Some of them are, of course, our own company, where some of our facilities have smoking lounges present, and we have installed in these smoking lounges the Honeywell EnviroCare air filtration system. AT&T has used them. Palace Station Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, in addition to the new Harrah's in Las Vegas, has them in their employee smoking lounges.
While many systems are elaborate and costly, there are economical alternatives that are effective as well. The Cositron air purification system is being used in the Foxwoods Casino's gaming hall, where about a quarter of the guests and workers smoke.
What the Cositron system does is when you get odors and smoke and things of this nature, they tend to stay in the area because of the polarization that's been done to them. Now, the Cositron system changes their polarity and makes these little tiny micron units start to stick together to become larger units, so that when the air is exchanged and run through the filter system, now the particles are large enough for the filter system to actually catch. Prior to that, they were too small. They would go right through the filter system.
Employees and guests are pleased with the way the Positron system works.
To keep the employees and your patrons as healthy as possible, you should have some kind of a system assisting in cleaning the air. And that's what the Positron system does for us.
The ventilation is very good in here, and I really think it's very important that smokers and non-smokers can be in the same room, because I think that people have the choice to smoke if they like.
Regardless of the type of workplace, when managers and employees work together, it's clear that there are viable alternatives to banning smoking in the workplace.
Life is a compromise. Everything in business is a compromise. Everything in government is a compromise. And it seems to me that sometimes government doesn't believe that people can come around a table and work out these situations. They truly can. Business wants to find the answer to these things and move on to something that's more important, quite frankly. And compromise is a key word, and it can be effective.
Finding ways to manage challenging situations is what good management is all about. And as indoor air quality continues to be a critical issue in the 90s, it makes sense for business and building managers to explore all options that will provide clean, pleasant work environments for everyone.